So hopefully you've done your balancing from words notes, and now we're going to do the first three problems together. So the first thing to note is that reactants are on the left and products are on the right. So when we read these, if they're talking about the things we're starting with, those are our reactants. They go on the left side of that arrow. Okay, products, produce, make, to form, to yield, to decompose. If we say that, that's putting our arrow there. So we're going to have this, and it's going to make, yield, or produce, or form products. So that's when we want our yield sign. Watch out for ionic versus molecular. When you write your ionic formulas, you have to make sure that you can figure out the correct subscripts on those. We use our charges and we crisscross applesauce. Watch out for diatomic elements. If you see these guys alone and not in a compound, you need that little baby subscript 2 by them. Okay? And include your state symbols. So S is solid from your notes, L is liquid, G is gas, and AQ is either dissolved, it's in solution. Okay, so we need to figure out what our state symbols are. And once we've written everything out properly, then we have to go ahead and balance the reaction. There are a lot of things that say burn in air. That means it reacts with oxygen. So O2 is going to be a reactant. Okay, so reactant. Yeah, let's get started. Okay, so we have magnesium chloride, which is a solid. So MgCl, and it's a solid. But what are these subscripts? Okay, what goes here? This is a metal and a nonmetal, so magnesium is a +2 and chlorine's a -1, so 2 goes on the outside there, right? That's our crisscross applesauce. Okay, remember there's no charges on this compound, so I'm just draw that line. This is our shortcut. And lithium sulfide, so plus lithium sulfide in water, that means it's aqueous, and now we have a compound. We don't have di, tri, mono. If we don't have one of those prefixes, that's a good indicator we need to crisscross. Lithium's a +1, sulfur's a -2, so Li2S, okay? And they're going to react to form. That means we need this little guy there, solid magnesium sulfide. Magnesium sulfide, there's no mono, di, tri, whatever, so we have to crisscross applesauce and reduce. So this is going to be a 2 and a 2. I'd reduce it to 1, and it says it's solid. And lithium chloride, okay, so that's a +1, -1. And again, how do I know when to crisscross charges? Well, the biggest clue is mono, di, tri, tetra, all those prefixes, they tell you exactly what to write. So if you don't have a prefix in there, you need to double check your charges. Okay, so that's a 1 and a 1, and this is in solution, so it's aqueous. And now I just have to balance. I have 2 chlorines here and only 1 there, so I'm going to put a 2 there. Okay, now I have 1 magnesium, 2 chlorines, 2 chlorines, 2 lithiums, 1 sulfur, and I'm balanced. So now I have everything written with the appropriate subscripts. I have the state symbols to show what kind of state those elements are in, and I've balanced it by just putting that 1 coefficient there, and that was all I needed. Okay, number 2, phosphorus, which is a P, okay, plus oxygen, which is an O2. Something I wouldn't expect you to know is this, we're going to put a P4 there. That's one of the reasons I'm doing this with you. So this is going to combine to form tetraphosphorus decaoxide. Now this has our prefixes, so we don't need to crisscross. Tetraphosphorus, so we have phosphorus, and tetra means 4, and decaoxide, that means we have oxygen 10. Okay, so we already have our P4. It doesn't tell us if these are solid, liquids, or gases. I know this is a gas, and I know this is a solid. I don't know what that is. If they don't give it to you, you don't have to put those state symbols. There are some things I would expect you to know, and that'll be our number 3 problem. But right now, I have 4 phosphoruses, 4 phosphoruses. I have 10 oxygens, so I have to put a 5 here to make that guy balanced, and that's how we write that from words. Number 3. Iron burns in air. So I have iron, okay, and I do expect you to know that iron's a solid. It's a metal, and it burns in air, and here is oxygen is our reactant, so plus O, and that has to have a 2 because it's a Brinkelhoff, just like up here. You cannot have oxygen alone. It can be any number in a compound, but when it's alone, you need to put that 2 there because that's one of those Brinkelhoffs, and it's going to form iron oxide, and it says that that's a solid. Oxygen is a gas. Okay, so this one's pretty easy to balance. I've got 3 irons there. I'm putting a 3 there. I've got 4 oxygens there. I'm going to put a 2 there, and let's double check. 3 irons, 4 oxygens, 4 oxygens. So this is how we write these guys from words. Make sure that you know when you have to crisscross to get the correct subscripts, and make sure that you understand if you have these prefixes, it gives you the exact subscripts there. Okay?